Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Ray, International First Vice President of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. This morning, the men of Phi Beta Sigma is proud to announce our partnership with Operation Hope and their 1 Million Black Business and Entrepreneur Initiative. We all know that the wealth gap between Black and white Americans is a leading force in racial inequality and social injustice. That is why Phi Beta Sigma has joined forces with Operation Hope to make sure that we reach 1 million Black businesses and entrepreneurs and help provide them with how to build a business plan, entrepreneurship training, business coaching, and e-commerce training. This partnership is a perfect fit for Phi Beta Sigma, as our global membership of predominantly African-American men is composed of thousands of small business owners and entrepreneurs. Phi Beta Sigma is no stranger to supporting Black-owned businesses, as we recognized early in our history that economic access is key to a fruitful life. We are proud to stand with Operation Hope and their partners as we change the economic status of 1 million Black businesses and entrepreneurs in the coming years. Now I have the pleasure to introduce our moderator for this morning, Ms. Vicki Brown, Deputy Director of Program Operations for Operation Hope. Vicki Brown is an accomplished financial services management professional and consultant with diversified expertise, including Big Five firm financial management and consulting expertise. Vicki currently serves as a board member for the School of Business at her alma mater, Claflin University, an HBCU in Orangeburg, South Carolina. In 2015, she received the Dr. Henry N. Tisdale Excellence Award for her support of the Business College. Moreover, Vicki is an active Silver Star member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and in her community. She's taught finance and budgeting courses at the American Institute for Banking, Every Woman Works, church workshops, and served as the secretary for ministry and stewardship and finance for 6 years at her church. She has been employed by Operation Hope as the deputy director of Hope Program Operations for 1 year, where she manages 7 regional vice presidents. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Vicki Brown.
Good morning. Thank you, Brother Chris, for that great introduction. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. Would like to thank everyone for joining us today for this great occasion as Operation Hope launches their partnership with the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity. Again, I'm excited to be here this morning and serve as the moderator. I am, again, Vicki Brown, the Deputy Director of Hope Program Operations, and also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and a member of the Divine Nine. And it is my pleasure to discuss this morning a little bit more about Operation Hope. And just quickly, if you're interested in asking questions, please do so with the Q&A feature versus the chat. So a little bit more about Operation Hope. Operation Hope was actually founded 29 years ago by our CEO and chairman, John Hope Bryant, in response to the despair and destruction of the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Operation Hope has aided over 4 million, again, I will say over 4 million individuals, and directed more than $3.2 billion in economic activity for the disenfranchised. Our mission is to expand economic opportunity, making free enterprise work for everyone. Now that we know a little bit more about Operation Hope, at this time, we will dive right into our program, and we will turn our attention to the Honorable Brother Michael Cristal, who is the President of Phi Beta Sigma and the Vice President of Operations with the Kroger Corporation.
Thank you, Vicki, and thank you for the opportunity of being here this morning. You know, you think about Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, founded on Howard University's campus, 1914, robust membership of over 250,000 college-educated professional men. When you think about the essence of who we are, it was 1924, Vicki, when we started our Bigger and Better Business program. And it was all rooted in what you heard our Vice President talk about, recognizing that we had an awesome responsibility to create uplift and support for African-American businesses. It was 1925, the next year, we had our national convention. And it was during that convention, we invited African-American businesses to come and not only just showcase their wares, but create an opportunity for us to create uplift and support of those businesses. Fast forward today, 2021, we're on the heels of opening up our international conference, and we will be doing the exact same thing for over 30 businesses here this week. And so when you think about Phi Beta Sigma, in the early 70s, we started a credit union. We were the first D9 organization to start a credit union. Again, recognizing that financial literacy plays a major role in minimizing that wealth gap that you heard Brother Ray talk about. And then you think about our leader, International Director of Bigger and Better Business, Brother Reginald Slush, who's done a phenomenal job of really cascading and accelerating our engagement with our members, but also within the community. How can I evidence that? It's two critical initiatives that we've done that I believe we really raised the bar on driving entrepreneurship. Number one, every year we do an African American Small Business Week where we encourage our chapters, our members, to be very intentional on going out and celebrating and patronizing African American business. Please do not hear we only do it just that one week. We're very intentional. I was in Memphis this past weekend, and one of the things we were very passionate and very purposeful on is that we went and had lunch at Cozy Corner Barbecue. John, I know you have a partnership with First Horizon Bank in Memphis, and I know you're in Memphis quite often. If you haven't had the chance to go to Cozy Corner, I would encourage you to do so. The other thing that Brother Slush has done is we have not only made an effort to connect and patronize with African American businesses, but we've also made an effort to quantify our impact. And he's introduced an initiative called the Black Spin. And what's really magical about that is our goal during this year is to invest $1 million worth of capital, if you will, into African American businesses. And so when you think about those two key initiatives and think about 1924, our organization was only founded 10 years at that time. And the average age in our membership during this time frame was probably around 25, 26. So young men out just graduating from Howard University, recognizing what their purpose was. And so when you think about this partnership, Vicki, John, wow, it couldn't be a more natural fit for Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And so when we had an opportunity to collaborate, we had an opportunity to connect, we said very loudly and very proudly, yes, Phi Beta Sigma wants to be a partner with Operation Hope on the 1 Million Black Business Initiative. And Phi Beta Sigma is committed to supporting and advocating on behalf of 1,000 businesses on the course of these next 10 years. We believe in the purpose. It's within our DNA. It's in alignment with our vision of being a brotherhood of conscious men actively serving our community. And it also creates an opportunity for us to minimize that wealth gap that Brother Ray talked about so passionately. As we sign on, you're going to hear this president today and this immediate past president encourage our future president to also challenge our Divine Nine brothers and sisters to get on board with this as well. We believe in it that strongly that we're going to play an active role in supporting you on driving it so. But just like Vicki had a great pleasure of introducing me, I have the honor to introduce our next speaker, who's the founder and chairman and CEO of Operation Hope. That is John Hope Bryant. John is an American entrepreneur, an author, philanthropist, prominent thought leader on financial inclusion, economic empowerment, and financial dignity. He was just recently recognized by the Atlanta Business Chronicle as the Power 100 most influential Atlantans in 2020, an American Banker Magazine's 2016 Innovator of the Year, and one of Time Magazine's 50 Leaders for the Future. John is the founder, chairman, and CEO of Operation Hope, the largest nonprofit, best-in-class provider of financial literacy and economic empowerment services in the United States for youth and adults. He's also the chairman and CEO of Bryant Group Ventures and founder and principal of the Promise Homes Company, which is the largest minority-controlled owner of single-family rental homes in the United States. Here's what's impressive. 5 former United States presidents have recognized his work, and he has served as an advisor to 3 sitting US presidents from both parties. He is responsible for financial literacy becoming the policy of the United States federal government. He has received hundreds of awards and citations for his work, including Oprah Winfrey's Use Your Life Award and the John Sherman Award for Excellence in Financial Education from the United States Treasury. He's the author of best-selling books, Up From Nothing, The Memo, How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, and Love Leadership. But here's what I've got to know about John Hope Bryant. In the last 3 months, through my engagement with him, very passionate about financial literacy, very committed to closing the wealth gap between the African-American community and the majority community, and very intentional on leveraging resources that will provide the opportunity to make that happen. Super excited about this partnership, John. Super excited about the friendship that you and I have begun to develop, and really looking forward to this collaboration on this morning.
Thank you very much for having me. Very rarely do I say this, but I feel like I'm a slacker today. Normally I'm the hardest working man person in the room, or at least one of them. And this organization, Phi Beta Sigma, really makes everybody look like a slacker. And I'm not talking about the last 30 days or the last 30 years. I'm talking about going back to 1914. Do your work, folks. Do your history. Do your research. You research rap artists. you research celebrities. Right? You know when the rent moratorium is ending. Right? Whatever the topic is, you do your research. You know everything about your favorite entertainer. You need to go and do some research in this organization. I mean, it's unbelievable. Whatever rock you turn over in history, you find either this organization or several of their members representing this organization. A. Philip Randolph, who basically, Dr. King, my mentor, Ambassador Young, get credit for the March on Washington, as reasonably said, the most inspiring speaker there was Dr. King. Dr. King was actually just one of many speakers. He happened to be the one everybody remembers. They didn't even want him to speak, by the way, a whole different conversation. They didn't want him to speak. That's another discussion. But 20 years before that, 25 years before that, or 20 years before that, A. Philip Randolph had threatened in a very respectful way the president that he was going to march on Washington. And they said, no, don't do that. What do you want? Well, I want to integrate the military. That's where it came from. The Black middle class came from A. Philip Randolph, a member of this organization, integrating the United States military in World War II. That's where your doctors, your Black lawyers, your Black engineers, your Black professionals, the Black dentists, that's where they came from. And that's when, and those folks migrated into the mainstream community. And later on top of that, higher education. In the 60s, we had with HBCUs leading the charge, and we were honored last week to just announce a partnership with my friend George French, Dr. George French at Clark Atlanta University, where they committed to join this movement of one MBB. Coincidence, to quote Andrew Young, is God's way of staying anonymous. So now you have the prominent HBCU, and now you have a prominent member of the Divine Nine, fraternities and sororities, leading the charge in the Black community to create Black business, stepping on the legacy, building on the legacy that came before it. I believe, I may be wrong, I believe John Lewis was a member, I think. Yeah, so you had John Lewis and A. Philip Randolph, amongst others, leading very key parts of the March on Washington and other parts of the civil rights movement itself. During World War II, you find members of this fraternity and sorority serving their country with honor. You go back to the 1917 or something. I mean, it's unbelievable. And it was initiated by Black men saying we need to work together with our sisters. This is unbelievable. And so 3 organizers turned into, they think they invited 9 people. And so now you have 12 people that's created an organization that's now 200,000 members strong and across continents. And yes, it's mostly African-American men, but they invite other races and places to be. If you think you're Black, I guess you're welcome.
Absolutely.
They take honorary Black people too. And so I just love action. I love, PhDs are fantastic. PhDs are good. PhDs are better, right? And so it's not about one or the other. It's about both. And so why is all that history is important? Because perspective is important. And just because you don't see something on the front page of the newspaper or in the news doesn't mean it's not happening right in front of your face. And this organization has been in the background. Sometimes in the foreground, you just didn't know it because they don't brag on themselves. But then in the background, making fundamental change for more than 100 years, benefiting you. And here they go again. And here's the drop the mic moment. History does not feel historic when you're sitting in it.
Mm.
It just feels like another day.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean the moment that you're sitting in right now is not historic. You go back to their founding, 1910, even before their founding, they had a meeting in Memphis. It was Howard University inspired this organization, but then somebody went to Memphis and had a meeting about this, I guess over coffee in a coffee shop or something. They mentioned a business they're supporting in Memphis right now, by the way, going full circle. But and it wasn't some fancy gathering. It wasn't some conference. No, they just had a meeting in Memphis following the meeting in Howard. And that then spawned the creation of this organization, 3-4 people getting together, having another meeting, maybe in somebody's house, I don't know, maybe at a church. Churches were a lot of places we gathered back then. And it made it happen. Very much like the meetings you have today. You're watching this and you had a coffee with somebody last week. You're sitting maybe with some group of people now or by yourself. The technology changes, the venue changes, but the change does not. And the need for change does not. The need for leadership does not. The environment changes, not the moment, and not the necessity for you to lean in. This organization was a part, I think it was in Chicago, it was a meeting of the Negro Congress, I believe it was. From that came a lot of civil rights initiatives. They were part of that meeting as well, helped to organize it. So do your research, don't get caught sleeping on these folks, and know today they were creating some history about civil rights. No, I didn't say civil rights. Silver rights, SILVER, which is about class and poverty, building on and departing from our challenges of race and the color line. The new color, I'd argue, is green. It's not black or white, certainly not red or blue. The Bible says a house divided cannot stand, by the way. Color is green, US currency. Also happens to be the color of renewable energy, which is an odd but wonderful addition. And in this environment, we need plans for the business suites, not just the mean streets. We need to figure out what we're for, not just what we're against. Most social justice is about fighting off bad stuff, keeping bad stuff from happening to seemingly good people. We need some folks trying to create some good things to happen to seemingly good people at scale. And so 1 Million Black Business Initiative is backed by a $130 million commitment, $130 million. And I'm not talking about pesos. I'm not talking about Russian rubles. I'm not talking about some crazy fiat currency. I'm talking about US dollars, $130 million entrusted to this organization run by a Black man from Shopify for 10 years to create 1 million Black businesses. Here comes Truist Bank back behind that with another 20 million. Here comes the mayor of Memphis. Here comes the mayor of Salisbury. Here comes the president of Clark Atlanta. Here comes iHeart saying they can commit. Here comes this order. Here comes that order. And here comes Phi Beta Sigma committing today. I hope I'm not stealing your thunder. 1,000 Black businesses to create, to stand up, to nurture, to support, to grow. 1,000 Black businesses in America over the next 10 years. You think I'm dreaming? Yeah, I'm a dreamer. to quote Dr. Dorothy Height, one of my mentors, she said, John, you're a dreamer with a shovel in your hands. Yeah, I'm dreaming, but I also understand math. And here's the math. If I can get 100 organizations to commit 10,000 businesses each over 10 years, or conversely, 10,000 organizations that do the opposite, 100 businesses, I'll get to 1 million. And this organization hopefully will inspire chapter commitments. Well, hopefully I want them to inspire the Divine Nine to join in, and other HBCUs to join in, and other colleges and universities to join in. But you might have chapters within Phi Beta Sigma that says, look, that's great, the National did that. Here's what we're gonna do in Detroit. Here's what we're gonna do in Memphis. Here's what we're gonna do in Denver. Here's what we're gonna do in Los Angeles, and so on and so forth, because all change is local. I can't go out the door of my house and not find somebody who doesn't need what we're talking about right now. So do I have 2 minutes to break this down?
Absolutely.
I want to make it plain. I want to make this as my friend Stevie Wonder won't mind me saying this. I want to make it so plain my friend Stevie Wonder can see it. Right? Everybody is crystal clear. Stevie does not have a self-esteem problem. He would enjoy that joke. I want to make this plain. I wanted to, as they say in the South, where my daddy and mama grew up, I want to make this so plain. I want to put it where the goats can get it. Right? You got to make it really attainable. So everybody here. So let me make the stats clear. 30 million businesses in America. 2.7 million of those businesses are Black businesses. 96% of those businesses don't have an employee. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute.
Solopreneurs.
That's it. Solopreneurs, sole proprietorships, self-employment projects. Let me tell you something. You can't build wealth except in your sleep. Let me make that a positive. You build wealth in your sleep. That's called compounding. Stocks, bonds, investment property, employees, technology, systems, infrastructure. You build wealth in your sleep. If you're a solopreneur or a sole proprietor, and you're working from 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, you're making money during that period, and you are making very little outside of that period. You're not creating jobs in our neighborhood. My friend Van Jones said the best way to stop a bullet in our neighborhood is a job. Do you guys think it's an accident that in every one of these neighborhoods that is an in-neighborhood shooting by Blacks of police, that it was a 500 credit score neighborhood? Is that an accident that George Floyd was shot and killed in a 500 credit score neighborhood? It's not about the credit score. I'm not that naive, but it is about the trending indicator, up or down, of hope, well-being, engagement, belief. And with that, trust, confidence, access to capital, entrepreneurship, small business ownership, home ownership, stable families. If your credit score goes up 100 points, all those things stabilize. It goes down 100 points, all those things take off like a rocket, a bad rocket. And if you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. We've got to make smart sexy again. And we got to turn these dynamics around. Again, 96% of our businesses don't have an employee and aren't on e-commerce. So yes, we can go create together 1,000 new businesses. We can do that. We can also go to the old ones. Let me make this really simple. Everybody here knows a barbershop they love, right? And some of us need a barbershop more than others. I'll get that joke later. As we get older, we need the barbershop for different things. It shaves different parts of our face. But I'm giving you guys some good stuff. It's going right over your head. That's okay. So you go to the barbershop, you drive by the barbershop, and how do you know the barbershop's there? You see the barbershop, you see a phone number, you call the number. Can I get a haircut for my meeting with Phi Beta Sigma tomorrow? Can I get a haircut? The guy says, well, I'm cutting somebody's hair right now. Let me look at my book. This sounds familiar, everybody. Let me look at my book. I can't really tell you right now. I'm cutting somebody. Can you call me back in an hour? They hang up the phone. You probably forget to call them back. Were you with me so far? This is how it plays out in every neighborhood we have. Okay, maybe you call them back, maybe they don't, but that's inefficient. Here's how the world should work. You fly in the night before to whatever city the Phi Beta Sigma is holding their conference or meeting. You're on 11 o'clock at night, you search the internet for barbershop. Because now you're on e-commerce, because of this partnership, we've got you a Shopify license, a Shopify website, which they're going to pay for, a payment system, which they're going to pay for, credit cards, a delivery system they're going to pay for, fulfillment system they're going to pay for. This is all through this partnership, people. We're going to give you 700 credit score communities training, get your credit score up, because most entrepreneurs, I just said, use a personal profile. We're going to get you a business plan set up, all free, paid for because of this partnership. We're gonna get you business training, entrepreneurship training, one or the other. Those are two different things. That's a different conversation for a different time, but entrepreneur and business owners are two different things, complementary but different. Give you training for the one that's appropriate for you. Then we're gonna get you all the things I just mentioned, and we're gonna get you a business team of accountants, business professionals, business managers, IT professionals, marketing professionals, whatever you need for free to wrap around your business, all that $25,000 package per business at no cost to you. Thanks, because of today of Phi Beta. Now that package is waiting for you. So now this business owner gets all set up on e-commerce, scheduling app, all that stuff. Here's what happens now. I'm in my bed, 10 o'clock at night. I want to make an appointment. I go to the scheduling app and I make an appointment at 2 in the morning. You sleep. You're the owner. This is Joe's barbershop. It's Chris's barbershop, Chris Ray's barbershop. Chris is asleep. He's preparing for the next day. I'm online and I'm scheduling my appointment for Tuesday at 2 o'clock on Chris's website. 100 other people are scheduling appointments for that week because they're online too. While I'm on the website, I said, well, you know what? I need a wave cap. I need a brush. I need some hair oil. I want a subscription to how to cut my hair on my own during COVID. So he'll show me how to do that. So I've now spent $138 on Chris's website at 10 o'clock at night. Chris is asleep. Can I get an amen? That's called building wealth in your sleep.
Absolutely.
And if 10 other people do the same thing, hello, you've made more money in your sleep without any efforts most people do during the day hustling. And you do that every day. I'm sorry, one time a week. One time a month, and you'll transform your life, be able to hire employees, be able to build real infrastructure, create a real business, build real wealth, transform our neighborhoods and our communities, because the best way to stop a bullet is a job. We're gonna go and create new businesses, but we're also gonna go back to the 2.6 million businesses that exist and get them an e-commerce first cousin to their existing business, and get that brick and mortar restaurant, barbershop, hair salon, whatever, get them to come up as well. This is a movement, everybody. This is a movement. It's not a program, it's a movement, and we want you part of it. Everybody reach one, teach one. Everybody I know, my landscaper out here right now needs this business. Right now, he needs this. And I'm gonna go shove it down his throat as soon as I finish with this conference. I heard him out there. But literally, you run across people 10 times in a day, and you ask them, are you on e-commerce? What's that? You ask them, are you properly structured as a business? Do you have an advisor? It's unbelievable. We've got to catch up. We've been doing so much with so little for so long, we can almost do anything with nothing. But struggling is not sexy, it's necessity. We need to make smart sexy. We need to transform our communities. We need a business plan for the rest of our lives. And that's why I love what Phi Beta Sigma is all about.
Awesome. Thank you. Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic, walk off the stage.
Thank you so much, Chairman Bryant, for providing insight to the One MBB initiative in partnership with the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to introduce Brother Reginald Flutch, who is the International Director of Bigger and Better Business, and he's also a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Brother Flutch.
Thank you, Vicki, for the introduction, and John Bryant, phenomenal introduction to the program. You gave the brothers an opportunity to truly understand what this program is all about. But what I'm going to do is to show you how Bigger and Better Business, our program, is completely aligned with the movement. Historically, you've mentioned several times that it started back in the mid-20s at our 10th anniversary conclave in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We actually started the program, Bigger and Better Business itself, with a business exhibit featuring Black businesses and encouraging them to putting special emphasis on encouraging and promoting their businesses. And at the inception, the businesses, our goal was to improve their business acumen, efficiency, and service to the public, but to be competitive with other businesses. Kind of what we're doing here with this movement is bringing our Black businesses almost 100 years later up to speed with what's going on with the world, with the e-commerce and the use of technology. So many, you made a great point of showing the solopreneur. That's one of my sticking points in terms of having graduating your business. I always talk to young entrepreneurs about graduating to the point where you leverage other folks to deliver your goods and services. We just don't think about that. It's just a hustle. And it becomes a 10, 15-year hustle. But to say that, that's where we started. But today, Phi Beta Sigma and its chapters have a full-blown program kind of wrapped around what you mentioned about. We have two primary focuses to this program. One is the Sigma Economic Empowerment and Development Project. We call it Project Seed. And what it is it focuses on financial literacy and awareness, building wealth. Mostly delivered through workshops. We do credit workshops. We do credit repair shops, wealth building, understanding insurance and how it can be used to actually perpetuate and build wealth. And we also have what we call the Sigma Business Initiative, which has been a real focus of mine because I'm passionate about entrepreneurship and passionate about building wealth, true wealth through true wealth isn't normally attained through employment or as an employee, it is normally attained through building wealth and pushing the envelope with regards to expanding and scaling. We have our own business network where we have a collection of Sigma businesses in one particular area, and there's communication between those businesses. Where we have what we call a Sigma Business Partners Program, where our chapters go out and adopt businesses. They adopt these businesses and promote these businesses, spotlight them, help them with their with the different key points that they may be in the community, help the community connect to that business. We also have what we call the Billboard Jackson Entrepreneurship Program. That program is it's like a business pitch program internal to the fraternity, and there'll be some examples of what I'll cite later, how this has changed the complete game with some of the businesses that have won this award. That's right. Our brother President talked about the Sigma Business Week, where we have a focused week in time, typically in the August and September timeframe, where our chapters go out into the community and spotlight, promote, patronize Black businesses, and once again use technology to make the community aware of what these businesses are trying to do. And last but not least, the Black Spin Initiatives. This is the really the first and hard quantifiable program that we can speak to how we support Black businesses through dollars. Yeah. And with this, we'll be able to quantify, go back and say, hey, we committed to Black business to the tune of $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And this program has been overwhelmingly excited and accepted within the brotherhood, just to ensure that brothers really having the chapters are posting their the numbers monthly. When we're having brothers sitting and saying, hey, we're sitting over here promoting, like, this is a Black Spin Initiative. This allows us the ability to scale and communicate. And I'm so excited that eventually we're going to get that, probably in the last quarter of this year, we'll have those Black STEM numbers displayed on our international website so that anybody can see our true commitment to supporting Black business.
That's great.
We talk about Sigmas in business. We got tons of brothers that own businesses, but I'm going to choose today to speak about two brothers in particular that have experienced an enormous amount of success. I'm going to mention Team Henry Enterprises, led by brother Devon Henry. It's a multidiscipline contracting firm headquartered in Newport News, Virginia, with satellite offices in Richmond, Miami, and Raleigh. Team Henry provides services including construction management, environmental services, wetlands mitigation, demolition, road and bridge building, and emergency response services. But the highlight that I spoke to Brother Henry about this is that he has been contracted to remove the Confederate monuments in the state of Virginia. How ironic is that?
Wow.
So, kudos to Brother Henry. He's an inspiration to all of us. It's a brother that walks in our halls, is attainable, and can be reached, can be talked to, and he offers lots of support to brothers who have aspirations, entrepreneurial aspirations. Another brother, Monster Creole Seasoning, Brother Derek Francis. He won the 2019 Conclave Las Vegas Billboard Jackson Grant. He used these funds. He won $10,000 and plus $10,000. $10,000 is significant. Can be significant for a small business. He used these funds to expand his distribution, increase his volume capability, his brand. He developed brand credibility, and was able to launch into numerous supermarkets in Southeast United States. And the quote that I got directly from Brother Francis is that Billboard Jackson gave his brand life. So that's some impactful, that's the impactful understanding that this program provides, and it'll continue to provide as we continue to grow. And I'm issuing a call to action to the brothers on the phone and the brothers throughout the fraternity as we launch this movement. We need to get out and invite Sigma Black business dreamers, entrepreneurs, and owners of existing business into the entrepreneur training program that will be phase 1 of the 1 Million Black Business movement. I would like to see as many brothers as possible join the program and leverage the knowledge, the resources to elevate your businesses to beyond solopreneurs. As we well know, many of us have solo operations. And also leverage our Adopt a Business program that already exists as tentacles in the community to eventually invite those businesses to be candidates for the 1 Million Black Business program. We have numerous chapters that are highly motivated, highly engaged with the program. And I know this is just a normal extension of the program with this movement. I think we can take this program, and this is the essence of bigger and better business. And this program will allow us to extend and expand to make Phi Beta Sigma a major player in our commitment to small business, small Black business. And that's the wrap for me. Great opportunity for the fraternity brothers. I think we should continue to take this and elevate it and provide the energy that Sigma men can. And good luck. And I got to get to the airport.
Awesome. Thank you so much, brother.
But hold on, Vicki.
Thank you.
Vicki, I do want to just underscore, if you're listening to this or watching this, my man didn't talk about creating the next Facebook. He didn't say you had to go get a patent for the newest technology. He didn't say you need to go get $30 million worth of venture capital from a VC firm. He didn't say you need to go get $1 million contract from the federal government. This wasn't rocket science. This was your neighbor and your needs in your community. Every neighborhood needs the same things, which are underserved in our neighborhoods. From basics of food and transportation to communication and marketing and business support, daycare. I mean, my mother lives around the corner from me. Elder care. There's a business. It's just a business that is taking care of my mother in love, but they're getting a check and I want them to. That's a business for you. Somebody watching this. I just want to break it down. What he said was a radical movement of common sense. It's something everybody can do and everybody should do. And that's how they're going to get to 1,000 Black businesses. I think they're going to exceed it, by the way, that goal. The first fraternity, that's right, President, he's already saying up, 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 more, more, more. That's exactly what leaders do. The first fraternity to commit, or sorority, they're going to exceed the 1,000 business mark. But you see how easy it is to do? Operation's going to do most of the work. It's already been pre-funded, and it's not about money. So let's stop focusing about the obstacles, talking about the obstacles and the challenges, and let's start looking at the opportunity. Otherwise, we're going to be like Malcolm X, who said, we've been bamboozled, we've been tricked, we've been fooled, right? We're sitting around worrying about it and complaining about our problems when the opportunity is literally passing us by. All right, Vicki, I'm done for the moment.
Thank you, Chairman Bryant. We appreciate that. And again, we appreciate Brother Reginald.
The brothers appreciate me shutting up mostly.
No, we're loving the energy, John. Keep it coming, buddy.
Yes, those are certainly impressive acknowledgments, accomplishments and programs that Phi Beta Sigma fraternity has undertaken, right, to support Black-owned businesses, and also explaining to the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity how they can also get involved moving forward. So again, thanks, Brother Slutch, for those for the information. It is at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Brother Daryl Anderson, who's the Executive Director of Phi Beta Sigma.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate what John Hope Bryant is doing in feeding us, planting seeds in each and every person that's listening to him at this point. And I'm sure, 100% sure, he plans on emphasizing this again when he lands in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina this weekend. And so I look forward to getting that. Now, here's my job. Vicki, let me explain to you what I do. Phi Beta Sigma operates this way. We can hear a lot, but we have to have directives. We have to have an action plan. We have to have specific steps that we want our members to take. We have 600 chapters. So my job is to really tell them, this is how we want to promote this. This is exactly what I want you to do. This is how I want you to fill out your program implementation assessment to see if you're going to get credit for this. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk through these specific action items that I want my brothers to do. And you'll find that this has already been mentioned by my predecessors on today's call. But we know in Phi Beta Sigma, the repetition is the key to success. So if I tell them again, I'll hear it this time and they'll get it right. Number one, what I want you to do is to connect with the Black Chamber of Commerce. I want you to get a list of businesses that you will officially recognize. And when I say you, I'm not just talking about the chapters, but I'm talking about the individual members. I'm talking about your affiliates. I'm talking about everyone that supports you. Because the key to your community. We're in 600 communities, and I need everyone in every community to do this. Number two, I want you to ensure that the members of our chapter that own businesses are supported by the chapter, supported by the affiliates, supported by those who actually have a connection with them. Oftentimes, we're so busy doing things for others that we forget that we have to take care of ourselves. And we have a lot of brothers that have businesses, and those businesses need to be supported. And just because you're a member of Phi Beta Sigma does not mean that you don't want to be supported by Phi Beta Sigma. So I want to make sure that they're going to get your patronage. I want to make sure that you're going to give them your media exposure. I want to make sure that you're supporting them through your social media platforms. I want to make sure that you're supporting them through your website and make it an organized activity. This is really about that adopt a business process. Adopt internally and adopt externally, and make sure that you're listing that on your PIA so we can monitor your activity. I would make sure that you use the Sigma Business Network to have them uploaded as a resource. Number three, and this has been mentioned, I want you to know and document that you're promoting Black businesses on a regular basis. Obviously, we have certain, and I'll speak to this, certain moments where there's an emphasis time, but your emphasis has to be daily. You have to put it into your mind that every day you're looking for someone to support, and by support, it's not just, as Brother Brian said, it's not just necessarily feeding money to them, but feeding resources and getting them to understand how they can better their business. So if you have that as a resource, if there's a skill that you have, in that to their business, pay that forward so that they can grow. And that's our job. That's talent expression for Phi Beta Sigma. That's your best performance of duty, so you can do that. But I want you to emphasize that the communities that you support the same businesses that you're supporting. This is not a secret. This is not a closet process. This is you telling people that you're supporting this business and telling them why. So you do that on your platforms, you do that in however you're communicating with those in your community, supported through your chapter meetings on a regular basis. But I do want you to identify who you're going to support and put them out there. Now understand, we have clearly defined opportunities with Black Business Month, which just happens to be the month of August. So it hadn't started, today it's just August the 2nd. You have 29 days where you can pull it together. And you also have Sigma Small Business Week, which is coming up in the spring. So these are activities you can build in. You have plenty of time to get it done, but it has to be a concerted and concentrated effort on your part, acknowledging that you're going to do this. Also remember that Phi Beta Sigma has the National Day of Service. It happens the third weekend of September. So build into your programmatic thrust that you're going to support a Black business during that time, but I don't want you just to do it on that day. I want you to start now building as to how that's going to culminate on that particular day so that you can show what you've done, the great amount of work you've done. And this has to be continuous. It can't be a one-time thing, but you're going to emphasize what you did during that period of time. Invest in these businesses. I don't think that we can say that too many times. Invest in them. Being a small business owner myself, that I hadn't had the opportunity to put a lot of time in recently, but we need, sometimes, as he said, if you're a sole proprietor, yeah, that makes it a little difficult. But the more investments you can get, the more opportunity you can spread those investments and you can feed back into the community. So take that time to give your time, talent, and tokens to those businesses that you really, really believe are going to do well, and invest in those. And whether your own business, all right, you got to invest in personal resources, that's all well and good. But this is a brotherhood. And we have sorors at Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And we have Sigma Beta Club members that we're teaching how to start businesses when they're still in middle school and high school, so that this is not a process that's new to them when they get to college or when they go to trade school or whatever. This is a generational process that we can support as a history of the organization. And I really, really, really want you to develop and educate a chapter or regional specialist in the 1 million Black business process. I want there to be a content knowledge specialist in your chapter. If I come to visit you, if Brother President comes to visit you, say, hey, in addition to your Sigma Beta Club advisor, your collegiate chapter advisors, who is your 1MBB person? I really want to talk to them because I want to see how you're laying this out and how you're contributing, and how Phi Beta Sigma is actually going to get to the 1,000 businesses by March of next year, however long it takes. I want to see that. I want you to tell me what you're doing. And I want you to put it in a process where you can share your best practices with other chapters. Why? Because this is fellowship on this highest level. This is brotherhood. This is not you trying to outstand someone else. This is you sharing with someone else how we can make this happen. John O'Brien said it's a movement. It's a movement that's been in place for a very long time. And those things that do move sometimes move at a different pace. All we're getting ready to do is expedite the movement. So Phi Beta Sigma is willing to do that and willing to join with you in that. So I appreciate the time. Brothers, I gave you 6, or did I give you 7? I may have given you 7 action items. If I didn't give you 7, I want you to create one that I didn't give you. So you have these action items. I want you to go on and do this. But come September, I want to see the outcome. I want you to start flooding the communications box with your activities so that it can be placed in the BCM. I want it to be flooded so that when we do our program newsletters, you're telling us exactly how you're doing this, how you're supporting it. And we want to start skimming some of the social media platforms to see how you're supporting this business. I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brother Anderson, and thank you to all of our panelists who spoke with us and discussed what really is going on in terms of the 1MBB initiative between Operation Hope and the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. At this
Vicki.
time, yeah.
Hey, Vicki, I just wanted to say that while the brother was talking about being bilingual, I was on my Facebook page where I've got 1.8 million followers for John O'Brien live, telling them about this announcement while he was talking, multitasking, because we got to speak in different languages today. We got to be multifaceted, and we got to be bilingual. We're going to be on Twitter. We're going to be on Instagram. We're going to be, at some point, we should do something on Clubhouse, by the way. I haven't done anything on Clubhouse yet. But I've got 2.5 million LinkedIn, 2.5 million followers on all platforms. That's different except from Operation Hope. We're all pushing this out. We're all talking about it in real time because people have conversations different ways. You can watch this, by the way, or rewatch this on the Hope channel, the Operation Hope channel, because we're going to push this out for the next 30 days to make sure that this gets far and wide in our community. We've got to be, as Brother Anderson said, intentional. Intentional. You didn't raise yourself. Somebody poured into you with intentionality. If you love yourself today, it was intentional. Somebody made you that way. Whatever's going on with you, it was intentional. This needs to be intentional also. All right, Vicki. I know managing me is really tough. Go ahead, Vicki.
Thank you, Chairman Bryant. Always appreciate you chiming in. So thank you so very much. So right now we do have one question. I will read it. It says, here in New Orleans, we frequent a Black-owned business on a monthly basis that we frequent as a chapter. The question is there a way to know the financial impact that we're making with those Black-owned businesses? So President Cristal, is this a question you could field at this time?
Absolutely. So think about what Brother Slush said earlier through the Black Spin. Our whole goal is centered around the chapter in New Orleans. I think he echoed that they frequent a business each month. Our request is that as we frequent that business each month, and we did it in my chapter, we did it this past Saturday in Memphis. You grab those receipts, you add those receipts up, and you quantify. As a chapter today, we spent $600 at this respective business. You scale that across a year, and that's, my math is right, that's $720 or $7,200. And so our goal is, how do we quantify that? And inside our organization, just for Operation Hope's benefit, when we do service projects, we capture the man hours. And if you look at last year, COVID kicked in, and we had 140,000 man hours or service hours that we provided. In the last 4 years, we were right at 900,000 community service hours that we impacted. And so it's very important that as we do this project and talk about impacting 1,000 businesses, and as we look at that, our goal is to get to 100. And John, you're 100% right. I know today we're already doing 100. So I know we're going to far exceed this 1,000 scaling across 10 years. And so as we think about the chapter and their question around, how can we capture that data? Our goal is to do that, and it's to scale it across the whole country. Daryl or Chris, you want to add to that?
Well done, Brother President. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you so much, President Cristal. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone for attending and participating. If you would like to sign up for 1MBB, please visit operationhope.org /1MBB, and the referral code would be Phi Beta Sigma. So at this time, for closing comments, we will turn it over to President Cristal.
Yeah, so, I opened this call by saying how excited we were to partner with Operation Hope, and specifically with your 1 Million Black Business Initiative. I also said through my remarks on introducing John, I talked about his accomplishments, but more importantly, I talked about his passion and how his passion is really driven in how do we make a better life experience for the African-American community? How do we close that gap? And how he's very intentional on working towards achieving it. I also believe you can really understand a person better in their quiet moment when they're sharing. How do I evidence that? You heard me say John wrote a book, and the book was called The Memo. And if you had a chance to read that book, you know there were really 5 key points that he called out within the book. And I want you to think about that title, The Memo. 5 rules of economic liberation. Freeing yourself. Embrace free enterprise. A mindset makes or loses money. Your relationships are your investments. Be entrepreneurial. Spiritual capital, investing in your soul. Spiritual capital is the start of true wealth. The title of the book, The Memo, the essence of the writing of the book, we might have missed the memo. And because we might have missed the memo, I believe through infinite wisdom was birth of Operation Hope. Infinite wisdom on really creating a spiritual investment in oneself, but also really creating the opportunity for economic freedom and investments within our community. Now, when I saw this project, when John and I started the conversation, and he started sharing with me 1 million Black businesses, I immediately said to myself, Phi Beta Sigma was launching something very similar in 1924. It was so aligned with what we are doing. And I said to myself, and ultimately shared with our general board when we brought it to the fraternity, that through the progressive and innovative leadership of our current international director, Brother Slush, the timing for this was the right time in reference to when we had connected. And so I knew it would be very easy for us to make the connection. You heard Brother Slush talk about all of the initiatives that we're offering up. And the last point I'll close with, I believe Phi Beta Sigma has a responsibility to its members to make their life experience better. I believe Phi Beta Sigma has a responsibility to its community to make our communities better. And I believe financial freedom, wealth creation, and opportunity for advancement through entrepreneurship is our gateway. And so, John, I am super excited about this partnership. I'm super excited about the work that we're going to do collectively. I'm ecstatic that our members are going to get a chance to build upon this very inspirational and encouraging conversation. Our delegation on Friday, serving as our motivational speaker. I know our members are going to be inspired by your words, but I also know they're going to be encouraged about what the promise of tomorrow is going to look like for them and for our community through the investment that you're making with Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And so thank you for the partnership. Looking forward to a long-lasting, fruitful relationship. You have Phi Beta Sigma's commitment, not just on this project, you have our commitment on scaling this brand to the Council of Presidents, the National Panhellenic Council. So today you have Phi Beta Sigma. We're going to look forward to the future that you're going to have the entire Divine Nine working in collaboration with you on really supporting 1 million African-American business. Thank you very much. And to our members, excited about what we're about to do collectively.
Let's go do it. Let's go rock the house. Let's get caught doing good.
You caught doing good. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it. And everyone have a great rest of your day.
Good job, Vicki. Good job, everybody.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Chris.
Uh-huh.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody. All right.